What was the hardest kind of thing going from a chef to an entrepreneur? You are an entrepreneur now. So
Yes.
what was the kind of the biggest change for you?
For me, it was together with Frédéric, my partner. So he is very, very strong in terms of business, of everything that has to do with structure, finance, legal,
That's good.
and so on. And I knew nothing, zero. And the biggest lesson he told me when we started, and I didn't understand this for many years, is that I have to change my relationship with money. Don't see money as an end, but see money as a mean to get somewhere. And when you look at it from a very 2D perspective, you don't understand this. You say, okay, but I need to pay the rent. Yeah. I need to buy food. But your relationship with money, once you are able to change this and see money as an enabler to create value, to grow, to become more. Mm-hmm. Money is a byproduct of your success. It is not an end goal. And I think once you have this mentality, you are no longer afraid of lacking. If you're afraid of lacking money in running a business, you will always hold yourself back.
Right.
And say, oh, I can't do this because I don't have the means to do it. And once you understand this, and it's really hard to...
It's a great learning lesson.
To let go.
Right.
You start to do things.
It's an enabler, right? I mean, it's really putting out there. And so when you Bakehouse, where does the name come from? Bakehouse, like.
So, before when we started with wholesale, because that was the basic idea of how hotels and restaurants need better bread. So we just wanted to do better bread for the industry. And after 5 years, many people ask, "Oh, where can I get your products? Do you sell it anywhere?" And we thought, oh, okay, we need to we need to open a shop. And I'm a baker. He's a banker. It's almost the same. And we had not really an idea of what we will do. And we had some idea, some concept. We were like, it's yes, no, yes, no. And this is where Miles, Mr. Miles came in the picture. So Miles was also an ex-colleague of mine at Four Seasons. Then at that time he was working for Jamie Oliver. And we were doing some wholesale work for them, for the restaurant, for Jamie's restaurant. And we chat, we talk, and then, how is it going? And you, how is it going? So, we have this idea of opening a shop. What do you think? Yes, I'm interested. And then Miles started in 2016, which is 2 years before we opened this place,
right.
the first shop. And we went through a lot of due diligence we didn't know we needed, but we did. Creating, benchmarking, conceptualizing, to the point where we had something. Again, Fred and I put money on this, not knowing where this was going. Hired a designer for the interior, and Miles was a key element to making Bakehouse happen. Today, the place shines because of him.
Right.
And the name, I remember it. We were in our staff area in an old factory in Taiwan. We had a whiteboard where we wrote 10 names each, and then
Right.
And one of them was the Bakehouse, or something like this. And we look, we cross. No, too complicated, too complicated. And then, what about just Bakehouse? Because Bakehouse in English language was the place where bread was baked in old time. And we thought, okay, we didn't think back then that it was too simple and very hard to register as a brand. So today we've added the by Gregoire Michaud, not as an ego thing, or I really don't care about my name being there, but as a trademark registration.
Right. Otherwise, it's difficult. Yeah.
Because there are hundreds of bakehouses today around the world.
Right.
So that's where the name came from.
Right.
And one, if you look at our branding, we started with a different visual brand, different colors. I think it was brown, red, black, bread elements, the beginning like this. Because we were thinking like bakers. We're thinking, in the world of bakery, you need this earthy tone, red, brown, black things. This is l'épidore, le croissant doré, la bakery. And then we had this wild thought of going against the norm, breaking down the code of bakery, and we chose this royal blue as our color, a blue color. It's absolutely not a bakery thing.
Right.
And white line drawings.
Right.
And the accent was the orange color, that bright orange. And we thought, well, that's very different. And we're like, but I don't hate it, there is something about being completely different than everybody else. And we went for it.
Love it.
With our design agency. And they came up with all these. And Dustin, who designed, is a South African guy who designs all the
illustrations, the drawings. Yeah.
We keep working with him today. Every time we need a new one, he's drawing it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that was unexpectedly one of the signature of our trademark of our brand. Yeah.
So then can you share with us also, how did you become Mr. Egg Tart? I mean, this is a phenomenon, literally.
Becoming Mr. Egg Tart. I don't know if it's the right thing.
No, I mean, it's so successful. Today, people queue every day to get them from around the world.
So the story, we opened here. We were selling 400 to 500 croissants per day. And so we had a lot of the trimmings.
The trimmings, the leftover,
the dough trimmings, on which we were using some of it to do other items, like the cinnamon roll and so on. But the waste volume was greater than what we could use. And one morning, I thought, what if we relaminate it, very thin, no proofing, and make an egg tart with it. And that was just the idea. And we tried. The first ones were baked in aluminum foil, the same one Mom used it to bake madeleine or cakes. And it was like, oh, there is an idea here. There is something. And then we went on and fine-tuned the dough, the tray material for the heat, to have the right crunch, the fillings, the sweetness, the right sugar, the right egg balance, and so on, to finally reach the one we wanted. And then it wasn't Portuguese, it wasn't Hong Kongese, it wasn't British, it was just Bakehouse. It was just Bakehouse egg tarts, using laminated dough, croissant dough, and egg tart, and making this, the sugar during the long baking process, the sugar floats to the surface and caramelizes the rim.
Right.
And somehow this became like like a super great item to eat.
Right.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's hard to say no. And it's very plain in texture profile and ingredients. So it pleases a wide range of people. And we started to sell it to people on June 15, 2018, with 24 pieces that were gone in 2 minutes. And then this started to become the reason why people started to queue. They wanted the egg tart. And it became a sensation. Today we sell between 30 and now more, because we just opened the peak. We sell about 30 to 35,000 egg tart per day.
That's incredible.
Every day, and it became this thing. And we don't pretend to be the new egg tart, the standard egg tart, the Hong Kong egg tart. We're just Bakehouse egg tart.
Right.
And people argue about
Which one's the best?
which one is
whatever,
the
right?
best one. But what I know is there is the before us, where no one was making these products with laminated dough,
Right.
as a shell, so kind of a hybrid between a croissant and a pastel de nata. And there is the after us. And today you can go, and this is crazy, you travel in the region and you see it everywhere.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think we changed we were pivotal in changing the way the egg tart world. If there is a world of egg tart, then
No, there is definitely.
We were a milestone in the story of egg tart.
That's wonderful. And you know, I it's interesting. In the mall right now, there's the Four Seasons pop-up bakery pastry kind of a counter, and they have the egg tarts there somehow. And I thought of you. I was going to take a picture. When it comes to we were talking before, like, you're a very serious person, but you don't take yourself seriously. You got that extra. You're a bit eccentric in some of the things you do.
Yes.
And I love following you on Instagram, and I recommend anyone to follow you.
Thank you.
The listeners and the viewers to follow you on Instagram, because there's so much fun and real content there. So how do you come up with all of this?
So I'm not the generation of KOL or young people online, or what we should be doing online. And so the people that work with us in a company for social media, they are you can say professional, but they live in this ecosystem,
in this world
of social media. And then so they will say, Greg, do this, do that, say this, say that. And then somehow I don't know, I just try to do
whatever they tell you to do or perform,
and then it comes out to be good.
That's so fun.
Yeah, and I am shy, or not. I never learn to be behind the camera,
right,
to act, or to.
You're very good at it, though.
But it's because I don't know how to do it. So I just do. I'm just a clown, Right. It's like, okay, let's make something funny, haha, and somehow it.
People love you're natural.
Yeah, so the natural side of it, the unforced. Hello, I'm
Right.
Greg. This is a croissant. The unforced, unwritten side of it makes it authentic.
We're almost at the end of our time, but what have you taught? You have a beautiful son. I know that you're very proud of him, and you should be. Me, very lucky too. But what are the things you've taught him, or you tried to not taught him, but inculcate of what you are? What did you do?
So I try to pass to him the value of where we come from, of never forgetting where it all started, never forgetting life simple values and principles. Stay grounded, stay humble, help people, be kind, and and don't be lazy. You can choose to be whatever you want. You can clean the streets. You can be a florist. You can be a baker. You can be a banker. Just don't be lazy. Because you will.
It won't work.
No, it won't work.
Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy.
No, that's.
It's on my iPad. It says the engraving says "Don't be lazy." So I remember, don't be lazy. And I try to pass him this value, and it's not something you write on paper and say, "Oh, there you go, follow this.
Right.
Best of luck." It's a forever coaching until he flies with his own wings. There is always wisdom and coaching to share. So that's what I do.
No, that's beautiful. One last question. You are an amazing entertainer, like a host at home, and I had the chance with the raclette.
Yes.
And all your amazing Swiss wines that are so good. Now, of course, you have you have Vienna, you have your son, you have your family around you. But if there's one person from the past, the present, or anyone that you would love to have at your dinner that you've never had, or anyone, who would it be?
André Gollet, my apprenticeship master, took a chance on me when I was 15. He gave me a chance to try to do this apprenticeship. And it was hard at times, and he made me understand that life and work isn't a given. And I think it turned me from being a boy to being a man. And this is invaluable. I'd love to have him at home for a raclette.
You arrived in Hong Kong, so that must have been a culture shock. I mean, how did any kind of how did you feel the first time you arrived?
So I went from Switzerland to United States, and then to Hong Kong. And in United States, it was also, it was in Colorado, and it was quite mountain and nice,
So similar to
outdoor.
Verbier somehow, right?
Yeah, the environment. And then when I arrived in Hong Kong, and then I landed in the nighttime, there was a limousine picking me up from the airport. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm just.
That's when you arrived in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the car drove me to the hotel at the Regent, and then so I stayed in the hotel 2 weeks in order to find.
So which year was that? Which year? The
1999.
99, right?
Yes.
Right.
And I look outside in the night, so I see all these lights and buildings. Like, oh, wow, okay, that's big. Sleep. In the morning, I open the curtain and I see Hong Kong Island. I'm like, oh my God,
right.
This is like a movie.
Right.
It's like crazy.
It's the version of the Verbier like views that you could have in the mountains, but like
yes.
in the city version.
It is exactly this. It's amazing and captivating where you see this and you're never bored of seeing it.
So you were telling me when you arrived, right? What were you most surprised, like when you arrived in Hong Kong, about like the people and what did you, what were so different?
The culture shock came in the pace of things.
Right.
Growing up or working. Yes, of course, when you work in pastry or bakery, you're opening a shop. You're on time. You need to be there. You need to prepare everything on time. So of course you have a deadline. But here, when someone asks you, when do you need it? And the answer is yesterday. It was so intense.
The answer is always yesterday in Hong Kong, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was so intense. At the beginning, it was very difficult for me to adapt.
Right.
Think, oh my God, this is so intense, so crazy.
But the volume was big, I guess.
Massive, yeah. Banquets. I never had such massive banquets. I never had so many room service. I don't know, 6 or 7 F&B outlets. Special request. Cakes in the shape of a princess, of a goose, of a dinosaur. It just became insane.
Right. And then something which is amazing with you. I've seen you on social media. Your Cantonese is incredible. And so, how did you learn? I mean, can you share with us the official story? Can you share with us?
So the official story was after starting work, I was the first foreigner to work in a pastry. And I wanted to do a good impression for the first Sunday brunch, the big buffet, the big events of Sunday. And I wanted to make a specific cake. I forgot what cake it was. And I speak to the team and I said, tomorrow I would like to have, 5 cakes like this. Let's say a chocolate cake. And the staff told me, yes, chef. Yes, chef. And everything I said was yes, chef. And then the next day there was no cake. So I was very upset. And so I overreacted with anger. But my colleague told me, don't get angry, because anger is contagious. When you are angry, people around you become worried, and then it's a negative feeling in the team. So I said, okay. So the way to make this work is communication. So communication was me learning Cantonese basics. So counting the days of the week, the basic products, cream, chocolate, and I need this tomorrow, yesterday, in 1 week, and so on. So tomorrow I need 10 chocolate cake, became tinyat, oil saptek, chocolate dango, tamda, and then I had my 10 cakes, and so
that's incredible.
Like, this works. So I was very happy, very content, and I kept going. And every time I heard a new word, I asked, what does this mean? And then I just memorized it. So basically, it's a data bank of sound, which means something, because I can't read it. That's too high level.
Right. How old were you when you started learning like the bakery trade?
15.
15.
15-year-old, yes.
And that was in Verbier.
Yes. So I moved to Martigny, a city nearby, to do my apprenticeship, and this is where I started to work at 2:00 in the morning, taking my bicycle, and this was life-changing. When you are that age, your friends still sleep, they go on vacation with their parents, they go out with their friends. And for me, it was, I go and I make croissant and baguettes. So it was very hard.
So do you remember the first bakery that you ever did? Was it a croissant? Was it?
It was an apricot tart.
Apricot tart?
Yes. So in the region, in the summer, so it was the month of August, and we have le marché de l'abricot. Mm-hmm. It's a every year a big
apricot
celebration
market,
of apricot markets. So we were doing apricot tarts, baked classic apricot tarts, hundreds, and I showed up at 2 a.m. and all I did was pitting apricots, like trays and trays and trays, hundreds of kilos of apricots. and I was falling asleep doing
I can
this
imagine.
because I didn't have the rhythm of the night. That's a good one. and then after putting the apricot in the tarts and then baking, so this was the beginning. So a very home specialty.
Right. There's a thing I want to share. I want you to share with us. You are, I mean, of course, everyone sees you now the most successful entrepreneur at the moment in Asia Pacific, with all the queues you have in your beautiful bakeries. But you know, you went back to school. You went to back to Hotel School of Lausanne. Story.
Right.
So can you share with us the kind of, you know, why did you go back? I mean, I was speaking with Vienna about this too, your beautiful wife, and can you share with us that kind of, you know, how did it come about? And
So when I mentioned to you earlier, like when I started working, in the first few nights, my boss asked me to bring the bread loaf onto the counter in a shop. So it's the night time, no lights, and I'm there putting my breads on the shelf, and I see the counter, I see the cashier, I see the coffee machine, cups, glasses, and everything. And I thought to myself, to my 15-year-old self, told to myself, wow, one day I want to have my own shop. And it took me 28 years to do the dream, to achieve the dream. Because for some reason, in the 28 years, I was never ready. I never felt ready. And there was always something that I thought I didn't know. Say, okay, I know how to do this, I know how to do this, but I don't know this part. So, okay, how do I learn this? I need to go back to school. Okay, let's go back to school. Let's do this, let's learn this, let's travel, let's broaden the horizon, the mindset and everything. And little by little, the fil en aiguille, we become ourselves by finding out, traveling, experiencing, learning, until the day, after publishing five cookbooks, awards, best pastry chef, everything, and so on. And I thought, now what? You know, now what do I do? And it was finally the time to take the jump, to the big leap forward.
but when did you decide to go back to school? I mean, to Lausanne Hotel School. I mean,
I was pastry chef, and I thought to myself initially, I thought this cannot be it. You know,
I didn't want to stay that it's a beautiful profession to be a pastry chef of a
Yes.
hotel, but you wanted more.
I thought I can't possibly be 65-year-old and still be doing what I'm doing right now. But I think I will. But now it's back to before. But I thought, you know, I gotta do more than just this. So I thought I know how to operate an operation, manage a team, and so on. You know, you're staying in your bubble. Mm-hmm. So how do I connect to the other side of the business, the front of the house, finance, law, housekeeping, anything? You know, how do you learn hospitality, right, the hotelier business, and everything? And I thought, okay, where is a good place to learn this? So I looked. There was internet, like that, just starting. And this school is supposed to be the best in the world. So, okay, it's in Switzerland. Oh, cool, okay. Never heard of Lausanne before.
Right.
Because I'm just in my pastry world.
Right.
So, okay, I'll go there. and I sent the letter, I apply. I didn't have much hope to be admitted. I did my school interview with Mrs. Burger,
That's crazy story.
Mark's mother.
Yeah, crazy story. Beautiful.
And
And they took you in.
I got in, yeah.
Did
And
you learn something out of it? Did they help you?
on the spot, I was too cocky, too proud, too arrogant, too, oh, I'm a chef. I've been working for 10 years.
Right.
I know everything. And that was the basic mindset. And then right after the school, I thought, this is of no use for me.
Right.
And I moved back to Hong Kong to do the opening of the Four Seasons in 2005.
Right.
And I thought, oh, this hotel school actually wasn't of any use.
Right.
And it's only, eight years later when I started to look at starting this
Your own business, right?
So there was two sides. So there is what I learned in school, and then when someone spoke to me about business, I understood what they were saying. It's like, yes, I remember this from school.
Right.
That's
the
how
terminology or
even just the vocabulary, right?
Right, right.
And the other thing that stays, and you know it, forever with you is the connections you've made in school.
Right.
And the network. And we all grew up, we all became older and so on. And today, I have all these great friends all around the world. And we always keep in touch, and we always laugh about the school days, because we are a bit crazy. And this is invaluable. This is crazy.
No, I mean, it's we have a very similar story in the sense that, I'm also a French trained certified chef. And I studied when I was 19 and went to Lausanne Hotel School in the same way, and also was interviewed by Madame Brugger at the time, and Marc became one of my best friends, her son. So that's learning, continuous learning, right? Reinventing yourself is super important. And now I want to talk about move on to the Four Seasons. I mean, they have so many Michelin star restaurants. I don't even know how many they have, how many stars they have. So being the opening of that hotel as an executive pastry chef, I mean, how was it like?
Honestly, so I owe Four Seasons a lot for who I am. They have been shaping me on the way I behave with people. The golden rule they have in the corridor is treat others the way you want to be treated.
Right.
And we still use this in the company today.
Would you use that too
Yes.
here? That's amazing.
Yes, because I think this is a very basic skill or behavior everyone should apply. So, coming back from Switzerland, school and everything, and then coming back here, I think, appreciated the scale of what was coming. I thought, oh yeah, okay, I worked there before, I know how it works, but it's a long time ago, in a different property. This was the opening of back then it was the sensation of
flagship
of the time.
Of their company too.
It was the flagship. They wanted to redefine what they were doing, including in F&B. And there was some sort of misalignment because what I was expecting and what everyone else was expecting. So the reality check, the wake-up call, and the PAM was quite violent.
Right.
And the person who budgeted the staffing and how the operation will be, so Alphonse, who was doing these kind of openings for forever with Four Seasons for the F&B, he said, "Oh yeah, you can find bakery product from suppliers. You don't need so many bakers, and then you can do this like this. You can do this like this. You can buy your cookies." But then Brett, executive chef,
Brett Peterson.
Brett Peterson,
Right.
dear friend,
Yeah.
came and he had a different agenda with where we needed to be with our kitchen products. And so between his vision, us, and what was given to us to open, it was an impossible equation. So it created a lot of tension, and it was very hard. But we somehow all powered through. I think we were all very talented in each of us,
own areas,
in what we are doing. And at some point, it all came together. And then so the result was these Michelin stars with 5-star awards and all everything else that followed. So I think the whole career before was one thing, but the career after changed me.
Right.
These
So before Four Seasons, that was kind of a one chapter.
Yeah.
Then Four Seasons, another chapter.
The post Four Seasons made me behave in a way where, when you come to our places, we behave the same way that when you behave in a F&B, in a 5-star hotel, with attention to detail, cable management, lights, temperature, music, smell, visuals. Everything you see is an Instagram background.
Right.
And having this experience in hospitality makes a very big difference on the way you operate a business.